So, Narmi asked me if I was stuck on a desert island with three things, not people, what would they be and why? And I would have my laptop, electricity, and Wi Fi because that's really all I need. And I could easily call for help and not be stuck anymore. That's Ravenclaw thinking for you right there. Okay, and then Patrick asked me my ideal holiday. I have a week to go anywhere with anyone. And I would obviously be with Ben. And where we go? I don't know. I like cruises. We might go on a cruise, like, I don't know, to Greece or something. I don't know. We go someplace really cool and interesting. But I'm always worried because of other countries, because like language barriers. And that's why I'm kind of like wary about going to like Italy and stuff, because I'm just like communication. And I've been to Mexico, but it was with a tour guide, so I've never been to like a non-English speaking country on my own, and so I don't know how the language barrier works. And I'm going to Paris, spring break, along with London, so I guess I get to figure it out then. Because apparently we're just gonna like dropped off, and then we get to go do whatever we want. And I'm scared. I may die. Okay. Alright. Paige asked me, if I'm still with Ben when we're much older, where would I want to live with him? And I'm assuming by much older, she means like old people, like retired and stuff. And I don't think about what I want to do when I'm like old and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, we've talked about like what we're doing, like where we could be just like in a general older thing. I don't know, like 30s maybe. I don't know. And like I have this like dream apartment like built in my mind for us, and I described it in my scrapbook for school. I like tweeted a picture of it. If you guys remember that. But I guess we'd be probably in London. I don't know. I don't know where old people like to live. I don't know where old me will want to live. I don't know. I'm not good with thinking about old things, but we'd probably live in London. A nice quiet part of it. I don't know. Alright, Derek asked me favorite Derek, Mandy, and Megan all asked me favorite companion. And favorite companion is definitely Rose, because she's perfect. And she's not, because she's not perfect, and like her flaws are just so beautiful, and that's why I love her. And she's great because she's so real. And I don't know how to say this without like insulting Moffat or anything, but she's just so real and human. I want to be Rose because she's so brave, and I think she's just what every companion, like, not every companion, I don't want all the companions to be the same, but I don't know, she just loves wholeheartedly, and she's so compassionate, and she pulled the doctor out of his angst of the Time War, and it's just, she healed him, and it's just, she's so important to me, and she's what like built the show up from the thing. Alright, Derek also asked me would I rather spend a day with Pine or Quinto, and I was in my media class when I got all these questions, and I ended up just looking up interviews that Pine and Quinto have done to try and figure out who I liked more. And I can't choose. Oh my god. Because, like, Chris Pine, he's great. He's like, I think they're both, like, a little bit of me is Chris Pine, and a little bit of me is Zachary Quinto, and Pine is like that little edgy, just like, fuck yeah, I gotta fuck bitches, get money type part of me. It's this part, my left half. And then the Quinto is like just the fun, cool, chill part. And I don't know, I think I'd want to spend the day with Quinto. And he could just like sit around and eat pizza and hang out with his dogs and watch Next Generation, and it'd be so cool. And I'm in love with him, and he's perfect. Alright, Melody's question, I haven't thought of an answer for already, which is bad. What is my favorite thing about Star Trek? I guess it gives me hope. I don't know, cause like when you go, it's the space, the final frontier, and it's just this whole we can do it type attitude, and going out there and just making friends with all of these aliens and just building up a peaceful galaxy and universe, and it's so cool, and I love it. And it's just I love Next Generation the most out of like all of the Star Trek things, and it's just it's so great. It gives me hope. That's why that's my favorite thing about Star Trek and stuff. Alright, Megan asked me why I love Jim Kirk. And my favorite character on Teen Wolf. Favorite character on Teen Wolf is Styles. Probably Styles. Because his last name. And he's really cool. I think we all kind of want to be like Styles. He's hella. He's so hella. And then why I love Jim Kirk is just he just has this rebel attitude. He's like gonna go out there and just punch some Romulans in the face, and it's so cool. And just like he does. I don't know, cause like he'll go out there and he'll do what needs to be done, and he may break a few legs along the way, but he does it, and he does what he thinks is right, and he just has a big heart full of compassion, and he's really awesome, and I love him. I love Jim Kirk. Okay, and then Derek asked me, spend a day with the Doctor or a day on the Enterprise, and I would spend a day with the Doctor, because with the Doctor you can go anywhere you want, and on the Enterprise, you know, there's like it's like, even though they could be at like warp 10, and it would still take them days to get places, and it's just, see, when I imagine myself like on the Enterprise, I'm just like a lowly ensign or something, and I wouldn't really be able to hang out with the the crew, like the whatchamacallits, like Kirk and Spock and Uhura and all them. I wouldn't like be on that level, and so I'd probably just, you know, I think I'd get a little bit bored on the Enterprise. Not all the time, but there are days in which I could be bored. But with the Doctor, you can go do anything, and it's always going to be an adventure. And whether it's like you're being killed or not, or you're just like having like a nice little picnic in New York with the apple grass, and I with the Doctor, it's great. Alright, and then Kayla asked me, do you like waffles? Yeah, I like waffles. And then if I could learn one language, which would it be? And I probably learn Italian, because Italian's really cool, and it's just a really classy language, and I don't know, I'm not really that big into languages. I thought I would be, but then I took Spanish, and I was just like, wow, I'm really shit at this. So I kind of lost my interest in it. And then I screenshotted all of these, and then I just came across 3 pictures of Derek in the blanket. Okay, Mandy also asked me my favorite Doctor and why. And this is always really hard, because it's always like, I'm always tied between 9 and 10. And, but I think overall 10 is because he is very selfish, but he's very human. And I think that's just a really important quality of his. And I like that he makes mistakes and is selfish. He's like this great swaggy action hero that will come in and he just swoops in with his dramatic speeches and just like, I'm the doctor, and 900 years old from the planet Gallifrey, and blah, blah, blah. He has such a love, he just has that flair, and I love it. And he can be an asshole sometimes. I think that's just because of his humanity that he has. And he was born out of love. And that's just a really important quality that I admire him. And yeah. That's why I think he's pretty cool. Okay. And then we have Ben. Ben asked me several inappropriate questions. And to which he can just wait for VidChat for the answer for. And then he asks me what curry is, and I say fuck you. And then he asks me why, and I'm taking that to mean why are we not making out right now, and I don't have a good answer for that. And then he finally asked me and then he finally asked me why is Show of My Choice so good? And I'm choosing The Office because I hold The Office very near and dear to my heart. It's beautiful. And I think it's so good because it's so diverse. And it really does capture the, well, maybe not exactly, but the average American workplace. I mean, obviously there's not going to be a boss actually like Michael, but the people in the office, with maybe the exception of like Dwight, they're so real. And it's like the real everyday problems that they go through. And everyone can relate to like that crazy boss and that crazy coworker and the person they have to sit next to, which sings too much, plays it, and it sometimes stinks, and they all like it, and they can all like relate to those little aspects, and they can relate to the relationships. Like Jim and Pam is just a wonderful, beautiful romance, and it's just so real, and the problems they have are so real. Like in the later seasons, when Jim and Pam are going through the rough patch in their marriage because they seem to just like mellowed out, but then suddenly like Jim wants more, and Pam doesn't know if she's ready for that. And they're real problems. And Michael and Kelly's problem with being stuck in like these really bad relationships and they don't know like how to get out of. And it's so human and it's so relatable and mixed with like the perfect bit of comedic relief, and it's so emotional and it touches you really hard. And it's just fabulous because it's so real. And a lot of shows like try to have like all these little gimmicks and like I don't know, like I love How I Met Your Mother, but sometimes it's not relatable because of all like the crazy shenanigans that Barney does. But The Office, it's always been down to earth and just perfect. And that's why it's so good, and that's why I love it. Okay. Thank you.